Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Costume Party Detective is a little small game I saw at Dice Tower East at one of the booths. I decided if it's for kids, let's take a chance on it and see what we have. What do we get? We get a little deduction game where players will be in costume. That means the meeples are a little bit different. And you're trying to eliminate all the other players except for yourself, of course. And by doing that, you're kind of going in the room, and there's NPCs, like non-playing characters around, and you'll be eliminating them. And you can gain more and more information about who may be who, and then you want to target them in the rooms. The 99% of this game was very, very strong. We felt there were some issues when you got down to 2 people that are left, and you can kind of run around from room to room, and it could just kind of go on forever. We kind of house rolled a couple things. Other than that one particular end game, I felt like it was a very strong addition for deduction. It plays quickly, gives the kids some interesting decisions, and it's not a roll and move. You're actually doing something. You're deducing your answers down. Sometimes you want to take that guess. I think that is you because that's how that's moving, and those are the cards that you have available. I think that's very interesting. I think this is something to be played with kids. Homeschooling, and you want to teach kind of that logic and deduction, you can definitely use this game. It's light, but it's fun. It's family weight. I think kids are really going to have a blast with this one. A little bit of an in-game problem, but not. I wouldn't throw this out with the bathwater just yet. I think this is a pretty darn good game here, and I'm a little surprised it's being overlooked as it has been. This is a keeper for us. Probably not a 10 on the BGG scale, but a very solid addition for any little gamer's library. Keeper for us. Here is Costume Party Detective. You get a nice sized box here. You're going to open it up. You're going to get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. You're going to get a board. The board is really just a placement with the different colors. It's going to have 5 rooms on it, each of the different colors, and then a little foyer that they can meet up in. Inside of this, you're going to get a bunch of cards. Each card is simply going to have the name and a picture of the meeple that's included in the game. You're going to get quite a few of these that will be in here. You're going to get a single die. This reminds me of a die that you would see in a hobby game. Then you will have a unique meeple for each of the cards. You can see these are really, really neat and very attractive. So you got like a clown in here. And you might have a jungle safari guy. And then you're going to have Count Dracula in here. So very, very cool. If you use the meeple source, that's kind of what these remind me of. The components are very, very good. I don't have any issues with this. The board holds up well. These meeples are really nice. Maybe the die is a little generic, but it's better than what I've seen in some games. And the cards are good quality. You might want to sleeve these because you don't want to know what's on the back, but they're so multicolored, I don't think you'll have any issues. So here's the rule book. You can see a picture of all the components on the front of it, which is super nice. A little bit of a story. You're going to have setup up here in this corner with a complete picture. It kind of tells you how to go through the game. There's not a lot of rules here. You can see the white really pops, and you have some pictures in here and a commercial on the back. Now, I wish they would have spent this here because I had a couple rule issues. There was a couple rules that we had, like what happens if you get 2 people. It's really hard to get in the same room. And then, in addition, what happens if you draw a card of somebody who's already been eliminated? What do you do then? I would have liked those rules in here. They're not, so we had to house rule them, but it works just fine. It's a little light game, and the rule book will take you maybe 3 minutes to get through, and you'll be up and playing. Set the game up is very simple. Put your die. You're going to shuffle up the deck of cards, and you're going to put 4 meeples randomly in each room. I'm going to lay them down so you can easily see. If, say, you're playing with 4 players, everybody will randomly get a character that nobody else will know, only you can look at it. So now I am the wizard. On your turn, you're simply going to roll the die. If you roll any color but black, you will then, let's say I rolled a yellow, I can move somebody into a yellow room, or I can move somebody out of a yellow room. If you roll a black, then you have a choice. You can take the top card of the deck, and we know it's not a character because it's in the deck. You put that card in front of you, and you would eliminate the rock star from the game. So now you know the rock star is not one of the players. If you ever have 3 cards in front of you, you can no longer take that action. You'd be forced to take the second action, which I'm about to show you. Let's say I am the wizard, so then I would have to choose somebody in my room, and then I would guess. I would say Dracula. Is anybody Dracula? This person would say, yes, I am. So they would be eliminated from the game. But now everybody knows I am in this room. I am one of these 3 guys. So by deduction, I'm trying to figure out who I am. We had 2 problems with the game that we had, so I might as well illustrate them now. Let's say I would have guessed the princess, and the princess would be out of the game.
Then later on, somebody draws from the top of the deck. They drew the princess. Now, we already know the princess is out. Some people have speculated that perhaps that's just a waste of turn. They don't do anything. Or do you draw an additional card and try to get rid of somebody on the board, so every turn somebody's coming off and you're speeding up the game and getting to the end? That was a little unclear. Also, let me give you an example here of another issue that we had. Let's say you get down to 2 people, the wizard and the other player is the superhero. But when the wizard rolls the dice, there's no incentive for him to move in here. Because if he moves in here, then she can roll the dice. If it's black, she's going to eliminate him. If it's any other color, she's just going to move. So there's no incentive for the 2 people to get locked into a room together. So really, your best move has always been moving away from your enemies and never move into the room with them. This is not clarified in the rules, so we would just say both players would win. That was an issue that we had.
Who should buy this game? I would say this game is squarely in the family, children motif. It's not just a kid's game. So this isn't something that's overly simplistic. It could be a light filler for an older group, of course, but I think that's going to particularly hit a sweet spot with younger gamers who are learning deduction, learning the logic aspect of things. And I think you can utilize this to teach it. I think it's a fantastic little game. It has a couple hiccups with it, but no game is perfect, I suppose. But the majority of what you're going to be doing here is very, very good. And one I can recommend if you got little ones in your family, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, you can go ahead and introduce this to them and start playing and having fun. And this is a good children's game because it gets away from the roll and move and spin and move and gives you something to actually think about and decisions. Winner for us.